This is lesson 4, and what we're going to do is do what we did yesterday. We're going to change the number in front of the squared term, and it's going to become negative. But let's review what we did yesterday, especially for anybody who was absent. Now, I want the vertex, and I have a spot down here. Jane says it's 2, -7. Is she right? Yeah, that's what I said, 2, -7. Okay? Do you remember that? Then you graph the vertex, 2, -7, right there. Well, it's exactly at 2, -7. Oh, well, you could label it.
I don't have vision like you.
Okay, hey girls? And then do you remember how to get the other points?
Yeah.
You go over 1 and you go up 1. Okay, DeMonte? So we're going to go over 1, up 1. It's like slope, and we're going to go over here, up 1. But it's not the same. It's not constant. Joey, what am I going to do next? I'm going to go over 1, up how many? No, not quite. It's 1, then 1 comes up to that 1. 3. We're going to go 3. You have to go back to yesterday's notes as to why it is what it is. But parabolas are always this way. You go over 1 and you go 1, 2, 3. Go over 1, 1, 2, 3. We could do more. It's enough. It's sufficient to get a parabola. What would be the next one? We're going to go over 1, up how many? 1, 3, 5. Do you remember that from yesterday? Okay, so we're going to go over 1, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you know, I kind of know where it's going to be anyway, because this is my axis of symmetry. Remember that? As you go over 1, they go up by the odd numbers. So the next one would be 7, but I'm off my graph. That's right. That's how you know that. No, we're going to do this. I'm going to collect this. So it's part of your homework. I'm going to collect this. I haven't even taught the lesson yet. Okay? Do you remember doing that? This is the lesson. I just gave hard copies to some people because they wanted them. And I can make more. Let's change this problem. It's not going to fit on my graph. So why don't we change it to y equals x squared minus 4x minus 12. There. Now, do you remember how to find the y-intercept? Really kind of reviewing everything, Joey, and the test is next week. It's -12, and it's x is 0. How about the x-intercepts? What do we have to do for that? Tell you what came. Yeah, the x came. Because how do I get my y-intercept? My y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. I changed the problem because it doesn't fit on my graph. I picked nice numbers before. However, that was the problem. So when you put in x equal to 0, you get 0 squared minus 4 times 0 minus 12. So that's the y-intercept. Once I have some of these points, I can graph it. How do you find the x-intercept? We have to play the x game. So this is going to be -4, and this is going to be -12. Which factors of 12 will add to give you a -4? Subtract. 6, 2, and -6. So this gives me x plus 2, x minus 6 is equal to 0. Is that okay? This is review, but you might have forgotten it. So what are the x-intercepts? -2, 0, and 6, 0. When I'm looking for intercepts, I would like to have them in ordered pair form. Now, do you remember how to find the axis of symmetry? What do you do with these two numbers? You add them up, 2 plus a -6, and you divide by 2. So 2 plus a -6 is a 2 plus negative 6 is positive or negative? Negative 4 divided by 2. That's what my x value is. So x equals negative 2. That's the axis of symmetry. Oh, wait a minute. I did my intercepts wrong. Oops. Yes, I changed it. Because it doesn't fit on the graph. Yes, I just looked at that. Sorry. My mistake. But that's what happens when we make mistakes. I don't want those. I want a negative 2 and a positive 6. And Joey was exactly right. So that's equal to x. So x equals 2. Would have been I would have found out real fast when I graphed it that I did it wrong. Well, that's better than the last one I had. The last one was negative 42. Okay, put 2 in now. Is it negative 12? Let's put 2 in here. I want to find the y value. Remember how to find the y value for the vertex? You put the x coordinate in there, and you put it in there. So I'm going to get 2 plus 2 is 4, and 2 minus 6 is negative 4. And you're right, that's still not going to fit on my graph. What's that going to give you? 4 times negative 4. Negative 16. So my x-coordinate is 2. My y-coordinate is negative 16. We have enough points there to graph that and know what it's going to look like. So let's graph that. So we have 0, negative 12, which is going to be down here about. I have my x-intercepts, which are at negative 2 and 6. I'll still have to fix this up. And my axis of symmetry is x equals 2. And that's what I said. I would have figured it out for my axis of symmetry. Would have been in the wrong place. But it's going to go right through here. Let's find it. Or at least I got better numbers, so I didn't get halves like I did before. And the vertex was at 2 and negative 16. So it's down here someplace. Close enough. And there it is. They all look alike. So I gave you 2 ways to graph. One is just actually finding these points right here. And the other was to actually do the counting. Now, because my graph wasn't big enough, I couldn't do the counting here. And maybe that's a good mistake to make. I don't know. For you guys. So is this okay, these 2 slides? The vertex is either the lowest point or the highest point, or the graph turns around. Hey, Jesse, you should have your headset off. You don't need your headset on. And you have a paper copy, so you don't really need the iPad. Not a great paper copy, though. That was number 2. No, it's okay. Are you ready? Those of you who can go ahead, you can go ahead, because the next one's pretty straightforward. Nick? Do you have your iPad? You can't get that? So, we're going to fill in the table, and we're going to see what happens with the negative. You got to go grab it. It's in the math office. Somebody does.
I will. I'll do it.
I am going to pause this. Fill in the table. Now, I found that we had some problems with that negative. It's negative x times x. So x is 0. What is that? It's 0 times 0.
Yeah.
And 0 is neither positive nor negative. You can make it a negative 0, it doesn't matter. So then when you put in 1, it's a negative 1 times 1. What's that answer? Multiply that out. Now, what is it? That's negative 1. How about the 2's? It's going to be negative 2 times 2. Negative 4. That negative is changing the signs, isn't it? What about 3? What? You're right, Nick, I think. Negative what? 9. Well, then we had problems when we got to the negative 1. And that's why I wrote this way. That is a negative x squared. So when I put in the negative 1, I have the negative 1 that's out here times the x, which is a negative 1, times the other x, which is a negative 1. What's going to be the sign of this? 3 negatives make a negative, so that's negative 1. Ideas for what negative 2 is going to give you? We're close. Negative, but it's negative 4, isn't it? And negative 3 will give you negative 9. And you graph it. So I'm starting at 0, 0. And then I'm going to go 1, I'm going to go 1, negative 1. I'm going to go 2, negative 4, right? 3, negative 9. I'm still on my graph paper, luckily. And now if I go the other side, if I put the axis of symmetry in, then all I have to do is fold the paper over. See how these match up? See how my boards lined up? And these match up? And I'm going to go over one more, and then these are going to match up. And there it is. And draw my little parabola. So what do these guys do? Just because that's a negative out in front, what happens to your parabola? It flips down, doesn't it? So, what can you conclude? If a is less than 0 or a negative number, the parabola will be this way. So instead of counting over 1, up 1, we're going to count over 1, down 1. And look at it this way. The graph is upside down, so it's down, so we've got to go down. Negative. If you're negative, you're down. If you're positive, you're feeling up. So if it's positive, we're going to go up. If it's negative, we're going to go down. So it's exactly like what we did yesterday, which is the reason why I reviewed it. Okay, are we ready to try a couple? I think I have 4 problems. You guys can come up and try them if you want. And there's some challenges there. What's the vertex? Yeah, where's the vertex there? Negative what? 2, positive 4. So we're going to start there, and the problem, at least what I see with the problem with this, is we have to see that little negative sign. And so if you read too quickly, you won't see it. So what's this going to do? I'm going to start at negative 2 and positive 4, right up here. Which way am I going to go, up or down? Okay, which way are we going to go, up or down? It's negative, so we're going to go down. And you know what? We live in Minnesota. We live with these temperatures, and it's going to go down to 13 below. I think Friday night. So it's going to be really cold. So this is going to go down. And we're just going to go over 1, down 1. Over 1, down how many now? 3. Yep, we're doing them all. This time it's really short. Oh, yes, you can. Yeah. Oh, well, you can do it. Oh, you don't have that. You can go over 1, down how many now? I did 3. Down 1, down 3, down 5. Now, do I have to do the 5? No, but it's kind of nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I don't have to think very hard to get the other ones. I don't have to do any counting. Yeah, it's a mirror. That's exactly right. Did I do it right? Sometimes it's hard when they're this close. So since Jane can't see the graphs, you want to come up with them on the smartboard? Okay, so I'm going to pause this. I can find it. And then you guys are going to work on it, and I'm going to... So tomorrow we're going to be doing something similar to this. I can get my x-intercept from this, but I want you to go back to general form. Do you remember what general form looks like? General form looks like y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, guys? That's general form. So what I want you to do is to multiply that out. So Jane's going to multiply that out. foil. Remember foil?
Foil! I love foil! So much!
Doesn't matter. And then simplify. Okay, you guys remember how to multiply binomials? Because what we're going to do tomorrow is I'm going to give you the x-intercepts. You're going to write the equation for the parabola. Equals y. Now look at B. Okay, India? Look at B. How does B compare to A? Here's A, x minus 2, x plus 7. Here's B, x minus 2, x plus 7 times 2. So all you're going to do to this one is double it. So Jane's going to write it here. You're going to do 2 times your results. The same problem.
Oh, you changed it into something else. Can I just look like mine?
It's good. Okay.
No,
All you
I
have to...
know, I got it.
No, not divide.
Well,
Not divide, multiply by 2.
that's what I
28. Where's your x? Good. You got double this one. Yeah, that's right. But how many x squared? If you have one, you're going to double it.
It's 2x squared. Oh, never mind.
So you multiply everything in that parentheses by 2. Now C is the same thing too, except it's with a negative sign.
What? The answer?
That's the answer. What's the negative sign going to do to my answers? So I'm going to take this answer, but I'm not doing negative, so I'm doing negative 1 times 2x. This is what we have. X minus 2x plus 7, which is this, and then you're going to opposite it. Not the black, but the red. Because that's a negative. If you opposite that one, you have negative 2 then. Yep. Excellent. Negative x squared minus 5x plus 14. Okay. D is just a plain old problem. Hey, Jesse, put that away, please. And it's negative 3 times this. So FOIL this first, and then multiply by your negative 3. Hey, Jane? You guys all do it with her. I'm right here. I can help you. You got the problems, you can write them down. You're going to multiply them out. You need to multiply. First, FOIL. You don't want to do the negative 3 first because you get all confused. So just FOIL the binomials first. The binomials are like the x plus 3s. So you're going to multiply, forget the negative 3 right now, you want to do x times 2x. Oh, you do. My mistake. Okay, and then simplify that because it's easier to work with. How come you're not doing your work? Well, I don't have a stylus. And I manage. And then what are you going to do with it? Multiply by what? Yeah, do this. What's x times x? That's x squared. Oh, you're times it. It's a negative 3. Yes, that's right. Okay, there you go. X squared minus 9x minus 3. Okay, guys? Do you remember? Now, you guys, you have a cumulative test next Friday, a week from tomorrow, and there's probably some multiplying on it, so that's why I'm reviewing this. And there wasn't much in the worksheet. The worksheet's not very long. Yeah, for the cumulative, yeah. Now, you guys should know how to do the bottom ones. That's looking for the x-intercepts, really, which is solving for x. A should be easy for you, but then I put some harder ones in there. Yeah, you can come on. Okay, ready? Okay, Jane, what's the answer to A? What makes that 0? Either x minus 2 is 0, or x plus 7. So x equals 2 or negative 7. Now, because I wrote that out, she got it a lot faster than when I just looked at it. I know, that's when I wrote it, you understood it. Be careful with B, because this is the, why did I put this on here? Because you guys are struggling with this. X plus 1 equals 0, or 2x plus 1 equals 0. Jane's going to find the answers to those. No, I'm negative 2. I want x by itself. Yeah, solve. What's x? You can't just have a negative 1 by itself. It's got to be over here. What's x equal to? That has to be equal. What's x equal to? Yes, you do. What's negative 1 plus 0? Just do what it says. Yeah. What about the other one? Now you forgot the negative 1 on the other side, so you need that. Yes, there you go. And some of you are really struggling with that. Okay, one more. Set the factors equal to 0. Jane? That's good. Check your answers. I'm making sure these are right. So you have negative 1/2 and negative 1. I don't want it on the iPad. Because then I can't grade it. And you don't check your answers. So that's a problem. Yes, this is not that long of an assignment. Okay, 3x minus 2 is 0, or, that's right. Now, how do you know if you did them right? You can always substitute your answers back in. Yep. What about the other one? Okay, you guys, what'd you get for the other one? What? No, I don't think I've done this one. Oh, that's true. Okay, Jesse, did you get positive 4 for the last one? It's not negative 4. Negative 4 doesn't, you did it right. Oh, I know that. There you go. Okay, that last answer is positive 4, not negative 4.
Okay.
And there you go.
Make it bigger.
Don't mess up the board, because I'm saving that.
Up and out there, sorry.